It has two components, which are aptly named the vestibular and the cochlear. These are responsible for balance and hearing. There are two main patterns of hearing loss, which are conductive and sensory neural. The most common cause of a conductive deficit is blockage of the external auditory meatus with earwax. Sensory neural problems, however, can be broken into three main categories. Those which are problems with the inner ear, those which are problems with the eighth nerve itself, and those which are problems with the higher cortical functions which process these signals. To test the patient's eighth cranial nerve, we first look at their ability to hear. We start with crude hearing. We block one ear and whisper into the other and get the patient to repeat it back to us. I'm just going to put my hand on one ear and whisper, please repeat back what I say.
77. 44.
So we can see that the patient is able to hear something. We now move on to our two tuning fork tests, the Rene's and the Vedder's. The Rene's test compares air conduction of sound through the auditory canal with bone conduction of sound through the mastoid process. In the normal patient, air conduction should be better than bone conduction, and this is termed Rene's positive. If air conduction is greater than bone conduction, this ear is either normal or has a sensory neural deficit. If bone conduction is greater than air conduction, then this person has a conductive deficit. I'll now demonstrate how to perform Rene's test. I'm going to strike the tuning fork and place it behind your ear, and I'd like you to tell me when you can no longer hear it.
Now.
Can you hear it now?
Yes.
Was it louder when it was behind the ear or in the front?
In front.
Okay, now I'm going to do the same on the other side.
Now.
Stop ringing. Can you still hear it?
Yes.
And was that loudest when it was behind the ear or in front of the ear?
In front.
Okay, so that shows that the patient is hearing air conduction better than bone conduction in both ears. Now on the wards, this can be fairly time consuming, waiting for it to stop ringing. So there is a quicker way of doing this, which I will now show you. Okay, I'm going to do the same again. Is it loudest in position 1 or position 2?
2.
2. And on the other side, loudest in 1 or 2?
2.
2. So again, that's a quicker way of testing air conduction versus bone conduction. We will now go on to do Weber's test. Weber's test. This compares the left ear with the right ear by placing the tuning fork in the middle of the forehead. Which ear do you hear it loudest in, or are they both the same?
Both the same.
So, equal in both ears is the normal response. If the patient heard it loudest in one ear, which is termed lateralization, this either means that there is a conductive loss in that ear, blocking out other distracting sounds, or there's a sensory neural loss in the opposite ear. That would conclude how to test the eighth cranial nerve.